All right. Hey, welcome to the Go for CEO channel. And thanks again for joining us here today. It is a pleasure every single time I bring on a new CEO, entrepreneur, founder, or even just an entrepreneur, right? People that are inside of businesses. But I've got a special guest, as I always say, like it is really cool to kind of be with these down home, internal, like inside your community type of business owner. And this lady, I've known her for a couple years. I ran into her different social circles offline. We kind of were talking about some things and just understanding kind of where she came from. I know her husband is a business background. She's a business background. She's got a great, background. So, hey, by the way, subscribe to the channel. Smash that thumbs up button, because if you leave a comment for Ashley, I know that she'll interact with you. I know she'll give you some tips of the trades and of the things that we're going to talk about. So hope you enjoy the interview today. And today we welcome Ashley Shee from Office Evolution. Hi, Ashley. Welcome to the Go for CEO channel.
Hi, John. Well, thanks for having me. It's such a pleasure to be here, and I'm excited and I can't wait to start a conversation.
Awesome, awesome. Well, that's what this is, right? And just learning about business, learning about kind of what it took and everything that's you're currently doing, and then following you every 6 months to kind of follow the story and the journey. So actually, we like to begin with our guests kind of going through, a little bit of their background, maybe a little bit of the sense of kind of where you came from, what you're about, but then get us up to the point of where Office Evolution, boom, explodes into the marketplace.
Awesome, awesome. Yes, of course. And I like your question. To just a little bit background of where I came from. I came from China, Shanghai, and today is actually the New Year's Eve in China. So I'm really excited get this opportunity to get things started for the new year. I've been here for a very long time, 20 years. Next week, 20 years. So it's been exciting, and I have a background in music, and I've learned music when I was in China. And when I came here, it was just very different, and I didn't know what to do with my background, with my experience. So I teach piano at home, and I still do, and I serve as a worship leader at church and campus church here in Naperville. So I am very thrilled with the opportunity to start business and doing something totally different. And the journey was quite long before I get to open a Office Evolution here in Naperville. And it was just searching and knowing what I will be able to do without any working experience here in the United States. So that was quite interesting. And my husband, yes, he was in business for a while, and we both know that we can work really well together. So we were searching and we were brainstorming, trying to see what will be the best thing for us to do together, aside from having a church ministry to do. So we searched, and here came Office Evolution, and it was a perfect match for us. And I can still teach piano and serving using my spare time, and then during the day, working time from 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, and I have a business to run. So very excited about that journey. And it's been 3 years now, actually running into the fourth year now. So business has been going well. There are some ups and downs, and especially with the pandemic, it was very difficult, but we made it through, and we're still trying to get back to where we were before the pandemic, and we're actually making a little bit better this month than pre-COVID. So very excited. Yeah, very cool. Thank you. Next
Well,
question.
no,
Mhm.
I love the kind of the spirit, obviously the Chinese background, the work ethic that the community has, and just some of the great people that are just genuinely coming from China to United States, and just exploding, right? They say, right, 75% of millionaires created are usually from out of the country, so that aren't born here. So you're well on your way, right? If you're not already. But so tell us a little bit about Office Evolution itself. So it's a concept, and I don't want to put words in your mouth, but like a place where you go work and you rent office space, and I don't want to mention those other names, but tell us from your words what it is and how you started the concept, or did you buy a franchise? Because I'm not as familiar.
Sure, yes. So it is a franchised model, and we have some license to open locations here in DuPage County in Illinois. And what we do mostly is providing a community for the business owners and the professionals here. The community can be anybody who needs a place to work, or just a virtual office that they can start and running their business. Or it could be a long-term private office that they want. And it can also be just a meeting room rental for a few hours in a month or a few hours in a day. So we provide pretty much everything any company will need when they need to run the business, for having a physical, professional, commercial business address, not a PO box, not a residential address, and also the meeting space they need to meet with their clients.
Fantastic. And over the last probably 5, 10 years, I mean, this concept has been really just booming. I would say, I know that you mentioned a little bit of the heartache with the pandemic, but it would seem like more people are probably gravitating to your model than actually putting a 5, 10, 15 year lease somewhere. Would that be the case? Are you starting to see that type of clientele and communication going on in your industry?
Yes, and even before the pandemic, this is something that a lot of the small business owners want to do, because the startups are very difficult in terms of cash flow, in terms of stability. And when they go rent a space, if they're going with a landlord, that could be a long term, and there could be a lot of the initial investment to put in. So that can be very challenging for small business owners. So that's why we're here. We don't put on those stress on the small business owners, and we want them to go out just to focus on their business, so we can be their back end office support. And has that changed a little bit? Yes, it is. And not because of the small business owners that they don't want to do the office, but also because the big corporations, that they are changing their way of having offices in the city areas, or in places where more employees will go to work. So they are reaching out to us and finding small places or private offices for their employees. So that has a change since COVID. We are seeing some activities, not as much as I wanted to see it yet, but I am just grateful. And I think the biggest difference between us and some of the other providers or shared workspace places, the difference will be we are more tailored toward individual needs. So some are having like a cash flow issues in the beginning. Some may have a huge money up front, and they wanted to put it in, so then they don't have to worry about making payments later on, and they wanted to have that peace of mind knowing that this office is going to be there for them for the next 2-3 years when they need it. So it's all a little bit different, but because we know everybody's different, small companies, big companies, they're all different, and we wanted to make sure to help them with what they need. And that's why I think our niche is, we don't just cookie cutter and fit everybody into what we provide, but we listen to their needs and put in things that they need, so then they can be happy and really working on what they need to work on.
I love it. So, one of the ways that I've had some people that own franchisees on the channel here, and you always think, well, what makes them think of like this particular franchise? Like what sold you on it? So, can you give us that little bit of that journey of how did you analytically look at it? Did you and your husband kind of contemplate different industries, and then how did you end up with Office Evolution and that partnership?
Oh, I love that question. So one of the things that really stood out to us is community, which this community in Office Evolution, we call it Ohana. So the Ohana word means family, and it's a Hawaiian term. And the founder of Office Evolution, he's actually came from Hawaiian. So we were really interested in this term because of what we have done in the past with different things that we are involved with. It's all about community. It's all about people. So everybody, anyone can find a space anywhere, but it's the community that nobody can find it. And it's the people, it's us putting our effort into this community that nobody can find it anywhere. So that's what really stood out to us.
So really the culture, the mission statement, the vision of Office Evolution is more than just the business model. It seemed like that's what kind of sold you.
Yes, absolutely. Yes. And again, like I said, anybody can find an office anywhere, and some could be very, very inexpensive, but that doesn't mean that they will have that community support. That doesn't mean that they will have the owners will be there for them when they need help. And we are their backend support. And a lot of the solopreneurs came to me and say, well, I'm just starting, so I'm all by myself, and I just want a place to be able to work. And I told them right away, and I said, nope, you're not all by yourself. I am your backend support. I am your front receptionist. I am your first impression. When your client come to look for you, I am there already. So they know, wow, that's there. And they were very, very happy and appreciate when they heard that. And most of them sign up right at the moment because of that reason.
I love it. You know, it's revolutionary, right? When you find kind of that great mix of mission statement and vision, and then you wanted the entrepreneurial spirit. Obviously, you had kind of an entrepreneurial background with not only your husband but your music teaching and everything else. So, really cool. So let me walk us through with our community at Go for CEO. You start thinking like a business owner, right? But
Mhm.
you need capital, right? So, what does that journey look like for Office Evolution? You don't have to get into total specifics, but maybe was there a big investment into the franchise? Was there that upfront fee? How is contractually? What do you set up like? And then do they take a percentage on a monthly basis? Can you walk us through a little bit of that education?
Sure, yes. So this is actually very typical as any of the business will need to get started. And there will be some upfront fees and there will be some upfront investment. And when we were looking for a big space, because we wanted the office to be bigger enough that we can build that community. If we only have an office space for like a 5, 6 offices or maybe 10 offices, that will be very small and doesn't mean that we can't build a community, but it gets a little bit difficult to build a community that has a full support. And when I say that, the full community could be anybody who has IT background, anybody who's in sales, anybody who maybe are a financial advisor, or anybody who is a CPA attorney. So with a bigger space, I can have more resource. I can have a bigger, better support team. And with that, yes, there's a investment, a huge cost in the beginning. I mean, when I say huge, it really depends on everybody's financial situation. But from an average standpoint, when we were looking at different franchisees, it was a big investment for us, and we definitely have to really pray about it and feel comfortable about it. And I totally think it's worth of the investment.
Neat. So the space that you got, did you buy the space or are you master leasing it? Let's get into some of the nitty gritties of how that scenario is set up.
Uh-huh. So that really depends. For me, I have a long-term relationship with the landlord. So I don't own the building, but I know this could be done if you have a building or if you are purchasing a building and want to use that building to be a Office Evolution business center. So anything is possible. It's just where the market is and how everyone's different cash flow in their beginning. And it could be very possible for any types of that.
Okay. So look, you kind of share with us those beginning steps, what really gave you the vision, how you got attracted to the business model. We've talked a little bit about now that startup cost and everything that kind of takes to really get ramped up a little bit. So, I saw you for a few years everywhere, right? At the chamber, at a networking event. I remember getting invited through another friend, Dr. Peter James, to a kind of a round table that I got to meet you at as well inside your office. And there was a new organization that was meeting there, and I was like, wow, this is a cool space, cool vibrant colors and everything that you have there. So tell us a little bit about marketing. What's that journey been like the last few years? Are you using Facebook? Are you using SEO? Are you just really concentrating on a certain type of social, or old school, just press the flesh, meet each other, and pitch obviously what you're all about?
Yes, so marketing is a very broad topic to cover. We do a little bit of everything, but we focus on the digital part. So Google My Business, or just placing Google ads to compete with some of the big competitors here in the market, or the social media part of it. We do pretty much all of that, and focusing on those digital side of it. And we focus on, I shouldn't say focus on, we also very big component with the in-person interaction, building relationships. So that's where we met, and I love to meet with the local business owners here. So it's just a different time I think we're in, and as the technology changes, as things are making progress and improving, it's just so easy when people are looking for things, they pull up their phone or go on the computer, type the things that they wanted to see, or even somebody wants to fix the bathroom, they will probably look up YouTube first before they go hire a plumber. So it's just things like this that we have to put ourselves out there so then people can find us. But that doesn't take away the importance of being in person and building relationships. So I definitely think Chamber is a good place to be, and other different network groups is a good place that I have to be, to meet with people and to let them know that I'm here to support them and I'm here to work with them.
Nice, nice. And just to reference a funny note, I am a content creator on YouTube. I definitely am nowhere near trying to find out the plumbing because I'm a right brain person, and I cannot figure out. I could literally watch on YouTube someone take off the pipe, pull it down, clean it out, and do it, and I'd be like, I don't know. I'm 100% more right brain people person, money, all that type of stuff. So it's interesting. But yeah, you're right. I mean, it's so many ways that dynamically can change and your business can change. And, how do you, like you said, even through the pandemic, maybe you had a little bit of a down, downward cycle, but then you brought it back up and you're back, you're doing some good things. So during this part of marketing, right? Are you trying to, I guess, test certain things? How do you I guess follow the metrics? What are your KPIs on there? Did you find that to be easy enough to then know, hey, every time I go to a networking event, I meet 10 business cards and business owners, and I create relationships, and then one or two come out of that. Is that how you started to develop, or is there different strategies that you use?
So I do have some metrics on that. And I think for us, for the type of business that we do, the most successful will be a couple of things actually, not just one. Word of mouth. So meaning when we meet with other people and when other people see what we do and experience what we do, that they tell their friends or their employers or their other partners about us, and they refer people to us. So that has been a huge success for us. And it doesn't come as often as the Google ads activity, but when it does come, usually comes in with a very, very good member that fits our profile and we fit their profile, and we can build a long-term relationship. And in terms of the other platforms, Google does bring in a lot of leads, not necessarily great leads, but sometimes it could be very, very good leads. And what we do very different than other people is we call them right away and let them know, hey, I'm calling you because you reached out to us and I want to be able to help you and take care of your needs. Some people were like, wow, you are that fast. We usually call them like in within 3-4 minutes, and it's really, really fast. And they were very impressed, and they were telling me all of the things that they're looking for. Not everybody's the same, and sometimes we do get people like, I just fill out a request, why are you calling me? So that could be as well, but most of the people are like, wow, you're really caring about what I am looking for. You're not just trying to sell me whatever that you have. And most of them will want to come in and take a look, and that could turn out to be a long-term relationship as well. And so yeah, all of those, it really, it depends. And again, I feel like any of those, I have to really let them know that it's not about me, it's about you. And I have what I have, but what about what you need?
Awesome. Yeah, look, I mean, every word that you're saying, I feel the passion coming through, and hopefully the Go for CEO community, what you're hearing is, someone who took passions in other places, some spiritual backgrounds that she has, the great marriage that she has, the synergies that she's been able to do, and then see a franchise that she wanted to commit to, and she's been all in, right? I've seen you around the
Absolutely.
all in
Absolutely.
and making it happen. So look, in the same vein, of marketing, you just said like that's one of the techniques. Like you actually pick a lead and boom, call them right away. I know that I've explored doing some business with you, and your people have called me, and obviously seen you around as well. So tell us walk us through kind of that marketing to then client facing opportunity, or even over the phone. What does that genuinely feel like, and walk someone through kind of what they could experience?
Absolutely. So this is the part that I like your title of the CEO. C is the client experience, and it's all about their experience and how they feel about us. So I take that very seriously. I don't want them to feel like, oh my gosh, there's another salesperson and trying to sell me something that I'm not ready for it, or maybe it's too early for me, or maybe it's too expensive for me. And I never want to be that salesperson. And frankly, I'm not in the sales background. So this is totally new for me, and even for my other my music background, my music teaching, I don't sell any of the things to anybody, so that's totally new. But when I try to understand their needs and letting them know I'm just here to listen and to see how I can help, and if there's something that you're searching and I can help, I would be happy to, but I will never push you or force you into anything that you don't like. So I don't usually come out this way and just to let them know that, but whatever that I say to them, that delivers this message. So then they feel very comfortable to share with me what they're looking for. And again, not everybody is the same. Even when I try to tell them, hey, I'm just trying to reach out to you because you sent a request to me. But it's okay if they don't feel comfortable, they don't feel ready, and it's totally fine. But I would say majority of the people, maybe even 75%, that they will say, oh yes, here's why, and I really like your approach. How about we set up a time to come into the space and look? And when they do come to the space and look, I let them experiencing how would it be if they actually working here. So that could be different things. I could be like, just take a few minutes and just see if yourself will be enjoying working here. And sometimes they sit in the office, make a couple of phone calls. Sometimes they just sit there and look around and see how they feel about the space. And then other times they will be like, this is really great, but can I actually come in just to test for a full day and see how that feels? And of course, I will welcome them to come in and just test the day for free. And it's totally fine. And I want them to feel good about what they are doing. So that helps them a lot.
What a great experience, right? And Jen, it's kind of like test driving, right? Usually, almost every dealership almost
Yep.
forces you to test drive it, because the more you experience it, the more you're inside of it, the more you smell that car, all that stuff. And I, I, I,
Yeah.
uh, I, I know that your space, like I said, the time I've been invited to, or I've seen your space, man, just the smell of it, like the freshness of it, the colors are so vibrant. I'm sure that's all psychological, and Office Evolution has uh, has teamed up with some psychiatrists or something. But awesome stuff. Awesome stuff. So tell us a little bit about now, like obviously you wear a lot of hats as a business owner. I mean, it seems like you're all over the place. So you're doing obviously the marketing. You're the CEO of the business. Like you're making calls. So you're kind of doing sales, even though you say you don't like sales. I think sales are just part of, right, informing people and educating them, and hopefully having them do business with you. But so walk us through now the operational side. What does that look like on a daily basis? Are you sending out invoices for these people? Do you charge their credit card on a monthly basis, depending on their plan that they have? What does that operationally look like? And how has Office Evolution really helped you to not be in the weeds on that?
Sure. So the operation side of it, and again, I pretty much do everything because as the owner and the business center manager, I have to care about my members. And one of the things that I care about them is just sitting here every day, Monday through Friday during the working time, 8 to 5, to welcome them, to give them a smile in the morning when they walk in, brighten their days and greet them, let them know, hey, I'm here with you. So that's part of it. And again, when they have their clients in and they see me, they know they're not alone and I'm here to support them. So that's one of my daily routine and operational tasks. And other things could be calling potential members and letting them know, hey, we're still here. If we haven't heard from you for a while, just wanted to check in with you to see if now is a good time. And again, with the pandemic, a lot of people, they were ready to take on the next journey, but then they have to put it on hold because everybody has to be home. And that has been a challenging time because I really don't know when would be a appropriate time for them to be ready and feel comfortable to take on an office or maybe just a dedicated desk. So that will be part of my daily operational tasks as well, just to give them a call and to continue let them know I'm here to support them whenever that they are ready. And other things will be, yes, sending invoices as well. And I do take payments. I have a back-end support team that they will do majority of the accounting and the invoicing tasks, but I am the one who's sending all of the invoices. So that way our members don't get confused that who are they dealing with. They will always be dealing with me. And if there's anything that they need, they can always reach out to me. So invoices I send, and I do take their payments as well. What else I do? I send welcome emails when I have a new member, and I send goodbye emails as well when people are leaving for a variety of reasons. So yeah, those are all my daily tasks. And a very important task for me is to look through their mails and to sort through the mail and put in their offices every day. And that has been actually a huge part of our business since the pandemic, because a lot of people can't come in, but we as the certified their agent, that we have to come in every day. As long as the mail service is in place and they deliver, we have to be here to receive mail. So we take care of their mail, either put in their office, or some of them that I know that they need some special care. I even scan their mail for them and let them know, hey, this is what you have, and let me know if there's anything else I can help. So yeah, those are pretty much all the daily routines.
And you know, one thing I love is having interviewed now nearly 50 CEOs, entrepreneurs, founders. You know, you get to really hear kind of their day to day, right? When I was younger, I would always imagine, like, what does that person do? What do they actually do every day? You know, what kind of seat do they sit in to be on the phone? To what gear do they wear? What, you know, what utensils or tools are they using? So I was always informative or inquisitive about that. So thank you for kind of walking us through your day to day and sharing that part of it. So let's talk a little bit about, you know, now, you know, you've got an established business. Gosh, I mean, you know, unfortunately, most businesses fail in the first year. You have been nearly 4 years in business and through a pandemic. I mean, kudos to you. And kudos
Thank
to your
you.
husband. I'm sure as you guys have probably thought about things and strategized and pivoted things. But so tell us a little bit about employees, right? So over the last 4 years, have you had to kind of do different things to attract new people? How is that working for you? And what have you learned about employees and bringing them on?
Absolutely. So I will answer this question in two different parts. And the first part will be about our employees. The second part will be our members' employees. And first part, our employees, and we care about them as much or even more than our members, because each location will have one employee only. So this is the type of one employee independent work model. And the person that we're looking for, or we have had, has to be a person who can do multiple things and wear multiple hats. So as I was saying earlier, the things that I do daily, sending invoices, making phone calls, and checking the mail, and sending invoices. I think I said it already, sending invoices or welcome email or just the daily routine things. And social media posts, Google My Business page updates, and all of that. So that person has to be able to do all of those as well. And that person has to be able to do it independently. And I think when I explain this to the business center manager, they get an idea of, I'm not just an employee. I am a owner as well, and I own this place. So often that I hear them say, "Oh, my center, my center. Oh, thank you for coming to my center." So they really take this as their own business, and I like how I prepare them with that entrepreneur type of spirit, so then later on this will stay with them and they can take this to their next journey when they have other career and they maybe even open their own business as well. So that's one of them. And then the other thing is I help them to connect with other people. Something that I do really well is connecting with people, and because of my music background, so I remember people, I remember things really well. I think one time I might have seen you or one other person at Costco. That's when we like yeah, when we met
Your husband,
for only like one or two times, and I was able to say your name right away and was able to engage the conversation where was the last time that we talked and what we left off. So that has been a huge benefit for me to be able to connect with people. And sometimes I don't take this as something lightly. I take this as a honor that I get to be able to connect with people. So I share this experience with my employees and let them know, hey, pay attention to the conversation so that can benefit you later on. And a lot of them will start and saying, I don't remember things. No, no, no. It really doesn't just about remembering things. It's about you care for this person, you care for them, and you will remember things when you care. And it's so true. And they remember a lot of people because they care about them. So that's something that I help my employees to engage and to grow. So the next part about employees is my all right, so that's the first part. The next part is my members employee, how I help them to get engaged and get involved. A lot of times, a owner that they acquire an office here, they don't actually come here at all, but their employees will be coming in pretty much every day. And we don't want them to feel like, oh, this is just a place for them to work. We want them to feel that they are part of this community as well. And because if they do well and like the place that they work, they will likely to stay longer in this organization. And the owner of this organization will be able to do well because their employee retention and their employee engagement, and maybe possibly they get more offices, or maybe possibly that they even grow to have a place on their own for their own. So those things that I do, I like one of the times that you came in with a group of people and we do like networking events. So we do afternoon events or sometimes lunch and learn. Well, that was all before COVID, but we are planning for things maybe summer or later this year. So then we can have some people come in and start a momentum again. And people, we all miss the in-person interaction, and I know a lot of my members and their employees are looking forward to that. So before the COVID, when we do that, they stick around, they engage with other business owners or professionals, and we do chamber events after hours and all different sorts of activities. So then they come in, they mingle and have a cup of drink or a glass of wine and some snacks, desserts, and just fun time. And people feel it's not just a small company that I work for. it's a huge place that I have. And that fun, that support, and that relationship building, they cannot find it anywhere else. So those are the things that I feel I'm proud of, and I am very happy that I can do this for my employee and my members' employees as well.
I have to compliment you. You know, the depth that you just went through that piece of it, the two examples, and especially, you know, not only just your employees, but then also caring about your members' employees. I mean, total gold. Go for CEO community. If you want to replay that last minute or two of just the way that Ashley broke it down, you should learn this is what you do in business. This is how you start to care about people, right? It's not always about the
Absolutely.
dollar, about the sale, right? And obviously, we need to make revenue to be in business. But boy, she just gave you a master class. Ashley, you might want to cut this video, that piece of it up, and put it on your social media. I'm just saying.
I should.
That was a really awesome. So compliments and kudos to you. So tell us a little bit about kind of as we wrap up the interview here, scaling, right? I believe you just, is it one location or do you have multiple location? And what do you see in the perspective over the next 6, 12, 18 months where you guys are growing to?
Sure, yes. So I do have two locations, and I started those two locations actually at the same time we opened on the June 1st of 2017 or maybe 2018. First day started together with both locations. So that was a huge success in Office Evolution history. And we were thinking of opening the third one. And again, the pandemic kind of puts us on hold. And right now, I just don't know when that we will be opening another one yet, just because we've seen a lot of the shared workspace that they're closing down. And we want to first to be able to help those places that they closed down, their members has a place to go. We actually were able to will onboard several of them from our competitors in a way, and they were very happy that we're here and we provide service, not only the same service but even better. So that has been one of our goals, just to kind of help those who are existing members of other shared workspace, so then they have a place to go. They don't ended up losing business and feeling like I have to go back to home and start all over again. So that something that we are still working on, and hopefully be able to help a couple more people that they are in the place that their current place is closing and they need to get out and find a place to go. And in terms of other place and third location, fourth location, we are talking about this, and it seems like some of the places nearby, like Oak Brook, will be a nice place to have. That will be our next goal. Stay tuned for that.
There you go. All right. And you said you don't sell. Right. Hey, next innovative campaign, next thing coming on. You always got to be promoting. So promoting is selling, selling is promoting, and sharing great value. So number one, obviously, when you bring great value, you're going to have people attracted to you, which is what you've done. Kudos to you. One of the things through a pandemic, don't let a good pandemic ever go to waste. You survived the pandemic, and obviously we're getting through it right now and at the ends of it, hopefully. But you know, your competition didn't, and you're going to be able to be fruitful from that. The quick question, just kind of a side question inside of that. Are you at capacity at both locations, or is that one of the things that you're thinking about? Like, hey, I could still grow a little bit more within my current locations.
So good question. One of my locations is in a very good capacity, and I am actually at 95% full for that one location. But the other location, I was at a very full capacity, and I am actually very happy for this new opportunity, because one of my members, and again, that has to do with all of the previous things that we talked about, how to make long lasting relationship and how to help their employees to be engaged and feel that the community is there for them, so then they can work for this organization longer. And all of the things that we have done to support that company, they are now graduating from our space. So they came in with few offices and then keep growing. And at one point, I think they took 1/3 of my offices. So now they just left, and I have a couple offices left that I have to fill. So that will be a new challenge, but I know this will be filled very, very soon. And until then, we'll just kind of have to wait and get our hands on this done first before we move on to the next one.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thanks for kind of pivoting there with the question, and, appreciate sharing. This channel really is about teaching people, right? That mindset, how to be driven by mindset, how to have that CEO, founder, entrepreneur, and intrapreneur. I mean, you're talking about your business managers seem to be intrapreneurs. They seem
They are.
to take care of this business like it's their own, which is, I'd love to interview one of them if you ever feel like they'd be good to come on the channel. We also interview intrapreneurs. So awesome. Well, as we wind down the interview here, Ashley, thank you so much for the wisdom, the knowledge, the things that you've been sharing. So we like to ask 3 questions at the end, and you could just kind of make it high level, maybe 30 seconds on it. But the C for CEO is client experience. The E is for employee engagement, and the O is for operational excellence. Now, you've kind of touched on all of them, which is awesome, a part of the interview. But what would you say is that true value proposition that Office Evolution brings to the table in client experience?
We are a community of entrepreneurs and professionals, and we are here to help each other, support each other, and to build this community to grow together.
Awesome. And then employee engagement, again, you've touched on it. You did an incredible job, total masterclass on it a few minutes ago. But what would you say that high level, value proposition is for employee engagement?
Employee is the asset of the company. So if you can't take care of your asset, then your liability will be over too much to bear.
Boom. I got to get some sound effects because that was dropping a bomb right there. And then last one is operational excellence.
We're in the service industry, so operational meaning provide the best service, and a lot of things that we cannot compete with some of the giants in the industry, but what we can compete is the local ownership, that we are here in the business every day. We engage with our members and we take care of them on a daily basis. So the daily operational aspect of that is that we are here for them.
I love it. I love it. Well, Ashley, what's one of my favorite interviews? I know I've kind of known you per se with being around the community. So happy that I re-engaged with you on LinkedIn and you were open to coming on board. Thank you for bringing tons of value to the Go for CEO channel. That's one of our purposes, is to be able to then follow you every 6 to 12 months and just kind of chronicle that journey, build a tribe around Office Evolution, and especially your brand with you, Ashley, and your team. So any last words that you'd like to share? And then also, how do people communicate with you? What's the website? Do you have a LinkedIn and all the ways that maybe social media can bring you people that might run into this channel and want to be a part of your community?
Absolutely, yes. So you can find me on LinkedIn, Ashley Shy. My last name, SHI, pronounced as a shy, and I'm not shy. And you can also find our website, officeevolution.com. And there are multiple locations in the United States. You'll just look for Illinois and look for Naperville, and also for Lisle as well.
Awesome. Awesome. Any phone numbers by chance? Or
Of course. And my cell phone number, 815-814-7998. This will be the best number to reach me, and call, text me, and I will respond.
awesome. Well, hey, community, Go for CEO. Look, it's about being a mindset and what you're driven by mindset. CEOs, founders, entrepreneurs, local business owners, startups to $1 billion, right? We're bringing you the best people inside of communities to really do and share. And as you just experienced, so hey, smash that thumbs up button, become a subscriber, leave a comment for Ashley, and she will definitely respond. As you can see, she's always interacting with her clients, always interacting with her members and her employees. And what a great pleasure has been to have you on the Go for CEO channel. So thank you so much, Ashley. And we look forward to seeing you in about 6 months.
Sounds good. Thanks, John, for having me.